Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to Chris's Inked Pens for November 2025. Here we are, ready or not. You know, we're knocking on the door of November as I film this, and we're going to be there. So I have only chosen 4 fountain pens and 4 inks, but I also had 4 that I was still writing with from September, October. So I've carried those over in my Levenger Bomber pen case, and I'll link you to where I reviewed this so that you can see it if you're interested. But I'm keeping it really simple because I have just kind of come through 6 weeks of healing with my finger, which I had trigger finger on my index, my right index finger, and I'm back to writing now with my right hand, but not as much. And I had spent almost 6 weeks writing with my left hand. So, but we'll talk more about that later. I just want to show you the 4 new pens and the ones that I'm, still writing dry. And then we'll write with the 4 new ones in my journal. The first one is the Pilot Vanishing Point, which was a surprise kind of a situation where I don't know what made me pick this up other than the fact that I had just gotten done doing my beautiful Levenger pen case, the box, with 40 pens and choosing. And I remember thinking, why didn't I choose the Vanishing Point? But it hasn't been a pen that I reached for very much. So I thought, well, maybe I should give it one more, like, look-see, and maybe I need to, rehome it or sell it or do something. But this was during my left-hand writing experience, and I found it so smooth and so easy to grip with my left hand. And then, when a few days ago when I transitioned back to writing with my right hand, I found the grip was really good, and with my little Band-Aid splint, I'm not folding that part of my finger. So anyway, it's been great. But this is Gunmetal and Rhodium or something like that for the finish, and it has a medium point. I mean, nib. Jeez, I'm talking like a civilian all of a sudden. A few weeks of lesser fountain penning. Oh my goodness, I hope I'm going to make more sense than that. Okay, so next up is a Kaigelu 316, and I have, even on my inventory, I didn't write down the colorway on it. Someone told me before in a comment on a video, but I can't recall what the colorway is named, but it's a really pretty one, and I think this is a medium nib. Let's see. Yeah, this is a medium nib by their brand. It has the little kangaroo on it. And it's so pretty. And someone had asked me what I thought of this brand. I only have this one pen, but I thought to myself, as soon as I ink up more pens, I'll try it, and then I can give a better opinion again, because I had to be reminded, kind of. It's a new-to-me pen that was gifted to me, and I haven't written with it as much as some of mine. Okay, then next up we've got Pilot Kakuno in clear with a CM, cursive medium nib. And this is it's a tiny little stub, and I really like the nib. And, I thought about which one did I want to write with, because I can put that nib on a Metropolitan or a Prera or anything, but it was the Kakuno that I thought. I kind of thought about it, and I thought, yeah, that's a nice, comfortable grip. I'm thinking about that because I don't want any more strain on either of my hands, so at least I'm going to try. Okay, then we skip over here. This is the 4th new pen, and this is the Jinhao 100. And what do I have? Okay, I don't have a Jinhao nib. I have a Jowo broad nib on it. So this is one of my favorite pens. It's really, really pretty. This was gifted to me as well. I had bought one in the koi finish, which is like red and white, really pretty. Okay, so then we'll just quick go over what I'm still writing with from before. And at some point I inked this one up. This is the Pelicano Junior. And it does have a very comfortable grip. It didn't work out as well for my left-hand writing as I wished, but I could do it. I could do it, but I was constantly wishing for less of a suggestion on that. But with my right hand, it seems to be, it fits perfectly. Probably it's a right-handed one, that's probably why, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm definitely going to write that dry. I like it a lot. Very smooth. Okay, and then next up, is the TWSBI Eco with a broad nib with Mont Blanc Psychedelic Purple that I'm finishing. Actually, you could tell I had so many inked up. I've cleaned pens all throughout October as they finished. So this is just one that I still need to finish. And then also the TWSBI Eco, let's see, Irish Green Onks, I think is the name of it. And it has a broad nib as well. Oh, okay, I'm looking at my paper and I put that this had a medium. Well, that used to have a medium nib on it, but has a broad. And this had the broad nib too. And then one more, which is, this one I'm not surprised. I've done more than half of the fill, but I've got a ways to go and I don't want to waste a drop of this. This is Opus 88 colorway in red with fountain pen, a Fierce Will Press Algonquin Maple, one of my absolute favorite inks. So on the new ones, let's go ahead and I'll switch the view a little and then we'll go over the inks that I'm writing with and we'll talk about it. Okay, so in the Pilot Vanishing Point with a medium nib, I put Pilot Yama-budo. Pilot Iroshizuku, but I guess I wanted to save room. I could not find the tile, so I had to make another one. And this is a gorgeous ink, and I've been so super happy with this combination. So here we go. It's just butter smooth, and I don't know. I guess, too, the papers I've been using a lot of Midori. This is actually a 52 GSM Tomoe River paper in a Hobonichi notebook. And so here we got Pilot Vanishing Point. And, you know, I'm making a concerted effort not to use pressure and to really let the fountain pen do what it's supposed to do because I don't want to act this finger up again. It is doing so well right now. But after, you know, 6 weeks is what they point toward as a standard, and if it wasn't better by now, I'd have to be in the doctor. So, well, I wouldn't have to, but it would be the logical and wise thing to do. And let's see, we'll just put Gunmetal, and oh, I just don't know how to spell the other word. I'll find it for the description when I type it out. But and the ink is Pilot Iroshizuku Yama-budo. Very, very nice and very flowy. And it's kind of gone from paper to paper with me, from even in my bullet journal some, not very much. Mostly it's been on Tomoe River paper and also on this, Yama-budo bank paper for a few of my letters, and also, 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. So it's been, it's like, that's why I think it's so slow for me to ever offload pens, even if I'm not reaching for them, because then one day when I revisit a pen, it's like, what? I mean, I should have been writing with this every day. Anyway, that's how it goes with me, and I'm already, you know, 9 years in, so you would think that by now I'd have it all sorted out, but no. Okay, so next up is the Kaigelu. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, it's been so long. 316 with Pelikan 4001 Brilliant Brown. It almost looks orange, right? And the other thing about it is when I first write with it, it looks orange. And then it kind of dries. Like on this paper, it seems like it dries to be brown. Okay. It looks bright orange when I write with it, to me. And then it starts to dry. So, okay. I don't know how to spell this. Kaigelu 316. Now I got to remember to keep track of how I'm holding the pen. So I give this segment of my finger a chance to be straight, because it's really better for it. With a medium nib and Pelikan. Sometimes that means I have to fuss a little to get the angle just right with some pens, but 4001 Brilliant Brown. I think I need to do just slight nib smoothing with this, because I have kind of fussed with it a little. I love this pen. It's gorgeous. And I like the nib too. But I do sense that just a slight little work on it, maybe even a little bit more, just opening it up with my thumb would help. But that'll be nice. I haven't had a pen challenge, you know, or nib challenge for a while. Okay, so that's that one. It's a very pretty ink. And I did at some point that I don't recall get a bottle of this, so I'm all set with that. Okay, then next up, I put Diamine Earl Grey into the Pilot Kakuno with the little stub, the little CM. And I really love this. I'll tell you the paper I really love it on best. It's this. It's the Yama-budo bank paper. It really glides across that. If you have that paper and you're and you happen to have the rest of the, you know, the ink and the nib, I highly recommend it. Okay, that was a little bit like side to side with maybe I'm not holding it right. Let's do the up and down. Yeah, well, that's where it shines. So, okay. It was a little scratchy side to side. Isn't that funny? I never noticed that before. It may be how I was holding it. Okay, Pilot Kakuno. CM Clear with Diamine Earl Grey. I can tell this is one that I'll have to pay attention, that I'm not holding it wrong or pressing too hard. Let's put it that way. And I have no idea whether I'll be able to write with this with my left hand. And I do plan on doing some back and forth still. I want to keep my left hand able, you know, to form letters, because as long as I can be legible with it, if I had any kind of a flare-up or question over here on my index finger, I'll go right back over to writing with my left hand. But yeah, so I'm not sure about this. I think it's going to be great. The way it was writing on the Yama-budo paper, definitely be great for letter writing anyway. So, okay, then next up is a juicy pen. I love this Jinhao 100 with Lamy Turquoise. This is an excellent combination. I mean, I just put it in and started. I made my little cheat sheet so that I could see, you know, what was really going on and remember how to spell things. And I got that taped up for when I'm writing letters. But still, I know instantly that this is just going to be so much fun. It's such a brilliant ink. Bright and neon. Okay, so we got Jinhao 100. Turquoise. How are we doing, finger? Okay, let's go ahead and straighten up a little. Broad Jowo. I think she's happy to be back too, because between my hands and my brain, they're about ready to explode with all the having to think through every letter the way I was doing. Lamy Turquoise. A very, very beautiful ink that I finally got a bottle of at some point this year, looking back. And yeah, this pen just seems to be so much more than you know, it hits above its pay grade, I think. Okay, so I think what we'll do, I got myself all set up over in the little library room. I'm able to open the door today and have more light, so we'll try that out to just have a face-to-face discussion. And I think I have everything over there I need, but I may have to pause and run around a little bit, so we'll see. I'll meet you over there. There, so, you know, it does seem a little bit strange that I've only inked up 4 pens, but it does give me 8 total, and I'm thinking there's no way I'll get even probably to November 15th with just that number of pens. Either I'll be cleaning out some of the 4 that you know, the original ones that have been carried over, or if my finger is a lot better, like I think it's going to be and is, then I'll probably be having other ideas and inking up more pens anyway. So in a way, it's good to start with a lower number. And I've got them all in that one pen case for right now. So we'll just have to see how it goes. And it's working because I just keep, I'm carrying it back and forth to where I write in my journal and over to my pen desk. But I think where I sometimes get bored is if I'm using the same ones over and over to write letters, then I do get bored and I think of other colors I'd like to write with. But I thought this was a pretty good you know, color palette to at least to begin with, and to add to the other colors. I did consider that I already had a bright purple, and you know, I had that dark green, so I kind of balanced the colors a little bit, I think. And we'll just have to see. This is all kind of experimental territory here. So I wanted to give you an update on my finger, because, you know, it's a lot better, and it was a very drastic, like at the beginning of week 5, I thought, oh, I don't know, you know, it's better, but it's not better enough and that kind of thing. But now it's really, I think I wrote down September 16th was the first day where I was realizing this isn't going to work. I've got to write with my left hand. So it's, you know, it's right around 6 weeks that I wrote with my left hand. But I did find, what I found the most helpful was deep massage, and you really every day working on this area right here and all the way up and down the finger once it could tolerate that. And what I ended up using was the carrier oil was the almond oil. I guess it's Now is the brand. I found that at a natural grocer, and then just lavender mixed in. So I made myself a little, it's too far to reach, a little tiny little, it's supposed to hold ink actually, little tiny bottle with the mix, and that's what I've been using. And then if I didn't want to have that much, you know, no, actually it dries pretty, I mean, it rubs in pretty good, but so there was another kind of just hand cream that just very basic, real thick hand cream. I can't think of the name of it, but not the Curel, it's another one, but that I would just kind of massage in. Well, Coco, you sleepy? He's in a chair right next to me, and the door's open. We're having one of those really pretty South Texas days where it's not humid and it's not hot. It's the first cool front of the year, so I've been very happy. So along with massaging it and really taking care of it and letting my left hand carry the load with writing, and then kind of keeping it out of the typing business too, making a lot of mistakes typing, but going back and fixing them, it did heal. And I really like a Band-Aid splint just to keep that final knuckle from, you know, from bending like that. And that seemed to be where my problem was at the final knuckle, or whatever it is, yeah. So like over here, if I just bent that part, that's too much bending for this one during that period of time. Now I put the Band-Aid on when I'm going to write or buy groceries or do a heavy, more or less heavy usage of it where I might forget and really get carried away. But the Band-Aid splints worked really well. The Oval 8s, they worked, okay, I got the whole set because I was working with both this knuckle and sometimes this one. If you disable either one from bending, then you're good. You're not going to re-injure it. So I used 2 different sizes so far. I hope I never have to use them again, but I'll be glad to have them here if I do. But those, like, when I was going to type and I just absolutely did not want to use the index finger, it was in no shape and not ready to type, then I put one on, and that way there's no way. It would remind me that we aren't going to clang along on that thing. It is not good. You could do it, especially when I put it on the, you know, the smaller one on the end, the one on the middle, it just, yeah, no way. It would help remind me. But out of this experience so far, and I'm not ready to say it's over. I hope it is. I hope that, you know, I'll never have another flare up, and I hope that it, you know, that healed completely and will continue to heal some more. But what I learned was I really need to take care of my hands. I mean, I depend on them so much for everything. And because I love to journal and handwrite and take notes on books and all of the things I like to do, it could have really messed me up mentally and every other way. And so I'm really glad that I could write with my left hand. Now, last Friday, so that's, let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 5 days ago, my left wrist said, forget it. I am done with you. And I was writing a letter, and it wasn't even a really long one, and I couldn't finish it. And so I finished it by typing, and then, excuse me, then I realized, you know, my finger's so much better. I'll give it a few more days, but then I'll start seeing whether it can tolerate writing. And I have had no numbness, no clicking, no swelling. And the way that I can tell that too is, I'll show you with this hand. If you look at your fingers, there's little wrinkles. And there's even little wrinkles up here on the top knuckle. Well, when it was not at its best, I had wrinkles here, but I didn't have any little wrinkling up here, so it was swollen. You know, I could kind of tell that it was. And so I've learned that I've got to really take care of my hands and sort of check in with myself every so often and do some of the little exercises that I learned. And mostly massage. That's what it came down to, was making sure that everything was getting the kinks worked out, I guess. So, and now I'm writing with my right hand again, and I'm really happy about that because I just like it better. It comes more naturally, but I won't give up on trying to write with my left hand. I'm going to go ahead. In fact, when I do the 4 pages to try out these you know, to really give these a spin in the ink journal, I'll probably do 1 page with each hand, kind of keep it warmed up, keep it going, so that I can do that. And then if I had any trouble in the future, it would be a little bit more seamless. And also, just give the hand a break. Like if I happen to feel like, oh, I wrote too many letters, I want to write in my journal, I could come over here, and if I'm not in any hurry, just make my entry with my left hand. And they say it's good for our brain. So, okay, so I wrote down a few more things just because I like to chat at the end of these videos. I was going to talk about what I'm reading. So I'm reading 2 books right now, and I've got several other books laying around too, but these are the main ones. So for fiction, I'm rereading Jane Eyre. This is a really old copy that was Manuel's, and I don't know where mine is, but it's funny because on the edge of it, it says US $2.25. Can you imagine how long ago that was printed if it was selling for that price? Oh my goodness. Now, I would like that roll back on book price. That would be great. Well, I was going to try to figure out what year, but it doesn't matter. It may not even be. Afterward, 1960. Yeah, there's so many dates in this, I don't know. Bibliography, copyright, 1982. I would imagine 1982. That sounds about right. So that's what I'm reading for fiction. And then for nonfiction, I'm reading Timothy Snyder's On Freedom. And I really like this book. I'm not long into it yet, but I hear him talk a lot. I watch some of his videos, and I read his Substack, and I felt like this might be a hard book for me to read. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to follow it, but if I read it early in the morning, my brain is not yet, you know, berserk, and I have a really clear mind, and it's been really, really good. Right now in it, I'm reading about this, one of the people that he is, you know, kind of quoting, and her name is, her last name is Stein. And it is, anyway, can't, in no way can I do a book report or even a beginning, but I do really like the fact that I'm reading this. I was concerned at first when I first picked it up that, of course, I didn't wait for the paperback. I probably should have. It would have been lighter. So it literally is a heavy book, and the subject heavy too. But I really, really like him. And so I wanted to understand his concept about, you know, kind of comparing freedom from something and freedom to do things. And so, I mean, I was just intrigued, and I really want to read more. So that's what I'm doing. So, let's see. Then I had a few thoughts written down about finishing the end of the year. It's just hard for me to believe that we're so close to November. You know, as I'm taping this, it's the 29th of October, and I've got a couple busy things that I've got to do, so I'm getting this done ahead of time. And it's hard to believe. I mean, I'm going to be 62 in December. I'm looking at all kinds of choices, and then still working through my mom's case, and a little bit of uncertainty there, but hoping for the best every single day. Just trying to find peace and understanding that I can't find certainty. You know, I don't think we can find that right now, and it's probably an illusion anyway, but just trying to find peace each day, and reading really helps with that. And so do these kitties. They just, they're passed out, and then tonight they'll be up, I'm sure, just like every other night lately. Our sleep has been kind of in question. And then, of course, the big new thing is me learning how to play guitar. I'm a little bit concerned because I'm dabbling, and I've got the Lauren Bateman is the teacher on YouTube. She's a woman who does wonderful tutorials and stuff, and she's the one that I'm following so far, and I've learned so much already. But I'm a little afraid that if then I take local lessons, I may be just, you know, having to relearn things a new way. I don't know, but who knows? Maybe I'll be able to learn on my own. Although that seems that seems like Mount Everest right now. But I'm still having fun with it though, and that's the thing that I learned by looking at all these little, like, there's such a thing as one string songs where you can just, you know, learn a song where you're just moving up and down the fretboard on one string with your strumming, and then just all you have to do is learn how to do all that fast enough. And I find that very intriguing. Like, that could help train my fingers to move there. You know, it's so different. I really enjoy the strumming part, but working the fretboard is like, hello, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, it's so pitifully slow that I can't envision ever being able to, you know, make it fast enough to make the song. But, you know, that's because I didn't start 20 years ago or more. So anyway, it's a lot of fun, just a lot of fun. So, I was going to show you my new calendar. I'll have to wait. I don't have it here, and I'll upset the entire camera if I get up right now. In fact, I accidentally shut the video off, so I'm going to have to splice together two. I don't normally edit. I just flip the camera, but I made a mistake. So anyway, let's see. Oh, recent purchases. I wrote down party animal. Yeah, I'm not a party animal right now when it comes to purchases, just very few and small things. But I did order a 30 ml bottle of Diamine Lavender from Yoseka Stationery. Now, this was because I signed up at some point to find out when it came back in stock. And when it came back in stock, I did have ad money in my account. Yay! Because I love that ink. I had a sample of it, and it's gorgeous. And I was really, really bummed when I couldn't find it. And so they got it back in stock there, and I ordered it. So it's on the way. And then I did get, I got some stickers. I thought I was gonna have a very low spend, you know, because I don't think I'll get more ad money till at the earliest December. So I tried to make it last. And so I got, a whole pack of guitar stickers, and they're really fun. I'm going to enjoy that in my music journal and my other journal probably. And then I did locally find these little Hello Kitty stickers that I think are just gorgeous. Whoops, I don't know what's going on with this. But they're in this little, they're just tiny, and it's called Pip Sticks, Hello Kitty. So I got those to work with. And then I got one more thing. I got these writer stickers. So those are really fun. There's a whole bunch of different, and these I actually like it better when they're on pages like this. When they're loose like this, I have to really work at. I guess I'll have to put them in a little container, like a little plastic container, or they'll be all over the floor. Because Coco will help with that, I'm sure. And then some of these had typewriters. So these are really nice. And these were from Amazon. Manuel ordered a bunch of stuff from Amazon, and I just went along and got a couple of things while we were in there. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and I just got a little gift in the mail from Pen Friend DB. I got these little, so they're cartridges with the little plugs in the end, kind of like the ones from Great Fountain from Italy that I showed some time ago. And if I can find that video, I'll put it at the end. But they're, so this is a pilot cartridge, and this has the little plug, it looks like a rubber one. And those are going to be great. I can't tell you how many times I've almost purchased, but I just didn't because I couldn't stand the price. You know, the Pilot, the cartridges in a little box, but it was like $14 or $12. And I was like, no, that's like half a bottle of ink there. And you're not getting a half a bottle. So I love being able to do this because like I'm using my vanishing point right now. And I can even keep one with the ink I'm using in there ready to just put in when it runs out. You know, the middle of that lavender case is perfect for that. I would still put it in a little plastic, but yeah. And so it had 2 sizes. And thank you very much for sending these. I have never seen them like this. I've seen only the ones with the little brass from Great Fountain, Italy. And so this is the standard size. So again, it has the little plug for the cartridge. So neat. I like that. Whoops, I got to make sure that little ball isn't in the way when I put it back in. There we go. Anyway, I've just got them, so I'm going to be writing back, and obviously, and also trying them out. So that's really cool. And I think that's everything. I think I can't really, oh my gosh. Oh, I was going to say 17 minutes, but I have to add the amount for the other one too. So that's going to be long. But at least with halfway decent light, I'm able to come over here. And it helps because I don't like to have to tell Manuel to turn his TV down. And there's just so many noises over there in that middle part of the house. This is toward the back. So I will let you go for now, but again, I'm just thrilled that I can write again with this hand. I'll get that Band-Aid off right now, actually. Oh no, I'll wait because I'll be doing a little bit of typing, so I want to make sure to be ready. But I keep taking it off and just kind of sticking it somewhere so I can reuse them. Have you bought Band-Aids lately? Oh my gosh. I was hoping that these Oval 8s would work all the time, but no, they irritated me. And it felt like they were going to, you know, you need to get it snug enough, but for some reason I can't stand anything, but I can stand the fabric Band-Aids, but they're they're nutty expensive these days. So anyway, I'll let you go and I'll see you in the comments, and I can't wait to hear about what you're writing with and anything that you want to talk about in the comments, and I'll see you there. And let's see. I still have a lot of ideas going on about, you know, reviews that I'm working on that I actually have the notes all done on. Actually, this is how it always happens. I'm ready to press stop and then I think of what I was supposed to say. For anybody who didn't read my little update on Substack, last week I had this like blowout week on all of the guardianship things and getting my mom new, I would have had this anyway, a guardian or not, to sign her up for a new Medicare. And it was just for a supplement instead of what she's always had, which was Advantage. And it was just pretty intense for me and all kinds of stuff going on. So I just didn't get anything accomplished on reviews, which, you know, I'm just glad that I have the time and I can do these things when they come up. And, you know, but I'm aware that I made these promises, you know, about these reviews that I'm going to do. So that'll be next. And so I'll see you very soon, and I hope you're doing well. Bye for now.